Did you hear that? Oh, don't worry, it's just another cozy night turning spooky. Hey everyone, it's officially spooky season. Halloween is the best excuse to curl up in bed with a book that gives you chills. So today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite reads for this Halloween. These book recommendations are going to keep the lights on for a little longer. Your heart is going to race, and let's say your inner bookworm is going to be very happy. Whether you're into haunted houses, murder mysteries, psychological thrillers, or even romance with a little bit of a mysterious vibe, I've got everyone covered in this video. So grab that blanket, light a candle, and let's dive into some deliciously spooky reads. So, my first recommendation for today is a book talk recommendation. So, for anybody who doesn't know what book talk is, it's a TikTok community where people recommend books, review books. So that's where I heard about it first. And it's called Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. This book is a dark romance thriller, has elements of psychological suspense, mystery, and a little gothic atmosphere. It has an intense tone to it. Um, Also, a good read for Halloween, I think. It is the first book in the Cat and Mouse Duet series. So there are two books in the series. One is Haunting Adeline, and the other is Hunting Adeline. And you have to read the first one first and then go on to the second one. So it's like a continuation of the story. The story follows Adeline. She is a writer, a very famous writer at that. And it starts with her inheriting her great grandmother's eerie mansion. The mansion gives the gothic feeling to the entire story. Um, as Adeline starts to settle down in this house, she starts uncovering mysterious letters, some unsettling clues that lead to past of her own family. There are some secrets that need to be uncovered, and this also somehow combines and creates a connection for her with somebody who's watching her. So there's like this stalker, a very psychotic stalker that is following her, that's watching her throughout. um, this story plays with past and present a lot. So you feel like, is Adeline reliving her great grandmother's life? So even when you read it, you feel like the story keeps jumping from past to present, and the author tries to have that connection or puts you in that parallel world where you're actually seeing both her great grandmother's story go on and her story go on, and you see the same things happen again in the present. The story weaves romantic obsession, danger, trauma, and a lot of supernatural as well. It somehow explores how love and fear can, those boundaries can blur when together. You do see a lot of duality tones in the book, where there's a constant contrast between, say, beauty and horror, love and fear, even even for example, safety and danger. So there's a lot of contrasting feelings in the book. So I think this is a very good read for this Halloween. But I do have to mention this book very specifically is meant for mature readers who can understand, or you have to expect the story to push your emotional boundaries and explore the complexities of the human psyche through a dark lens. So a good read, I think. It's well written, has the spooky feel to it, since I'm recommending spooky books. So a good read. I'm yet to read the second book, Hunting Adeline. So it also stops in a very nice cliffhanger. So I think I'm yet to read the second book. I'll get back to you on the recommendation for the second book. Now imagine this. You're in a forest, deep somewhere in the forest, in a cabin, all by yourself. Nobody around, even nobody will even hear you if you scream for your life. There's rain pouring outside, thunder is striking, and then suddenly there's a knock. Will you be opening the door for them? This is the story of my next recommendation, the latest mind bender by Freida McFadden. I think that's how you pronounce it. The Intruder. The story opens with our main character, Cassie, who's a ex teacher. She has gone off grid. She doesn't want to be contacted. She has nowhere else to be. So she's away in the woods by herself, nobody around, completely isolated. Um, and no phones, nothing. So she is there, and it starts off with a lighter tone, with her arguing with her landlord to fix her roof before the storm, and her being very prepared for a storm to come. So she has everything sorted. She has her candles ready because the power could go out. She has duct taped her windows, and then there are new characters that are introduced in the first in initial few chapters. There's this creepy neighbor. She's not very sure of that something's wrong, but she can't really point out what exactly. But he seems like a gentleman, but still nobody knows what is the issue. So all of this happens, and then the storm starts. So when the storm is settling in, the fear is also settling in when I read it in the reader, and that's a nice little touch to the book, I felt. And eventually, a young child shows up. There's a girl outside her window. There's that external fear element added as well. When she's not aware of what exactly is outside her house, she can only hear something creeping. She saw a pale face on in the window, and you can see a light in her tool in her garage. So all this is happening, so there's that external fear in it. And eventually she makes up her mind. She's a strong independent girl. She goes out, checks her garage for what is that light from. This cannot be an animal. And then she finds a child there. As an ex-teacher, she feels very sorry for the child, and eventually gives refuge to the child in her house, which automatically somehow turns into a claustrophobic fear of, I don't know, trust. There's issues with trust happening. There's there's a lot of survival instinct and hidden past to the story. So the story goes on throughout the night with the storm raging outside. She has no way to contact anybody from the outside world to help her, and eventually there's a relational fear as well. So there is some kind of relation between Cassie and Eleanor, the child who shows up. And this book is nice because it explores human tendency to protect what is more important to them, what they think is important. Um, and 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 it's it, and it's so deeply embedded in the story that it doesn't scream that this is telling you that humans protect what they love, but there's so many elements of fear. It's There's so many elements of uncertainty. So it's a very nice spooky read for this Halloween, I think. It's claustrophobic, it is fast paced, and I think Frida does what she does best. She plays with your perspective, and one minute you know exactly what is going to happen. Uh, you can for sure tell, okay, she's gonna die, she's dead. It's probably somebody from her past or whatever. And then next minute you're just like, wait, what? There is a very nice twist in the story, which I'm not going to spoil for you. You must go and read it. But when that happened, I was like, wait, what? This changes everything. Are you serious right now? So the story is amazing. For somebody who it is Frida's first book for me, and I've not read her previous works, this is amazing. I am going to go on and read all of her books because this is some real mind bender work. And my last book recommendation for today is The Fifth Hour by Rahul Jain. This is I love Indian authors. There's so much of relatability that happens with Indian authors, but it's hard to find them. And I do rely on Book Talk or Instagram for, to find these authors and read them. So this was one book that I came across. The Fifth Hour opens in a remote Himalayan resort. It starts with Rati waking up in the morning, one morning, and saying, "My boyfriend Ayan is missing." And when she goes around finding for him, asking people if they've seen him, it so happens that nobody in the resort has seen Ayan. Not the staff, no CCTVs have captured him. So she's then questioning her mind. Am I dreaming? Was Ayan here? And then you're also, as a reader, questioning Rati's mind, and you're like, is she okay? Is Ayan an actual character, or what is happening? And then enters Inspector Vipin, a police officer who is not very happy with his posting in this Himalayan town. It comes from the south of India, misses his home, misses the food and the culture there. It is his punishment posting, so again, minus points for him. So, and but he's an honest officer, and it's he starts investigating the case, and as he goes on with the investigation, there are a lot of things that uh, pop up, and the story starts spiraling. There's fractured family ties, there's shifting motives, and also there's Rati's haunted past. So you're left to question, who can I trust? Which Who is my person? Who am I looking for? Who did this? So the author does a great job in setting that tone for the book. But I have a lot of things that I want to nitpick in this book, because I, first and foremost, absolutely hated how Inspector Vipin lusted over Rati, regardless of her being one of the suspected, because she was the one with the missing Ayan, and a lot of officers around Vipin tell Vipin that she seems to be a little disturbed, but still he keeps lusting over her, and it's not just attraction. You feel like an absolute disgust for the character in the beginning. I loved Vipin as an inspector when he did his investigation and all of that, absolute brilliance. But as from a personal front, I absolutely did not like him having those thoughts about somebody who's distressed and is waiting for her partner to show up. Also, the story, it's not very unpredictable. So for me, I knew in the very beginning, or somewhere halfway through, I realized that okay, this is what happened. This makes sense. What absolutely worked for me in this book is the atmospherical setting. So the Himalayan resort does add to the creepiness of the story. It does give you that eerie sense of positioning. Then there's Rati, who is confused, scared, just hoping her partner comes back. And then you have Vipin, who has procedural investigation skills, but again, I did not like the bit where he lusted over Rati, but he's a good character as well. Eventually gets better, um, and you want to trust Rati, you want to trust Vipin, uh, but somehow you're like, should I? Would trusting be a good idea? Then there's another character called Shika, who you also want to trust, and since so many of the assumptions have have been debunked, when Shika comes into the character Shika comes into the picture, you start doubting her as well. Is she part of the plan? Is she Has she done something? So in a way, the book is a mind bender. It gives you that sense of confusion. It makes you feel like you figured everything out, but then it pulls the rug and you're like, I did not see that coming. But so it's a great read, I think, another great read. I have one thing that I really want to nitpick with the author, and that is in the very beginning, in the very initial chapters, the author uses these huge, crazy vocabulary. Like there's like words that you've never heard of. It's probably just me. Maybe my vocabulary is not that great at this point, but it gets very annoying because once or twice you can take it and you can be like, oh, I'm learning a new word here. But it feels like it's unnecessary usage of crazy English words, and to make it seem like, I don't know, something to give that weird vibe, I think. But absolutely not a fan of such writing. But eventually, he stops doing that. The author does not give you, does not make you go check your dictionary for what does this mean. So it gets better through the story. So would I recommend it? Absolutely, you should add it to your Halloween reading list. And now, if I have to rank these books on my reading mode, first would be The Intruder, for that perfect thrilling twist. That twist, that damn twist, made me a fan of Freida McFadden. Oh, I needed a minute with that twist there. So that would be the first book I would pick up. The second would be The Fifth Hour by Rahul Jain. It, for the emotional depth, I think it was a good mind bender read. Then the last one would be Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, for its dark atmospheric storytelling. Again, I'm yet to read the second book of the series, the Cat and Mouse Duet series, so I can't speak much for the Haunting Adeline. I'm assuming Hunting or Adeline is as good as the first book. Um, Tell me in the comments which one you would pick first, and if you've already read one or all of these books, let me know what you felt. Did they haunt you as much as they haunted me? Please let me know. Don't forget to like the video. It will mean a lot to me. It will tell me that you're enjoying the content I make. And of course, make sure you subscribe for more book reviews, for more travel content. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.